Okay, welcome back to another Ladder Legends replay analysis. This time, Ithor versus ReSpOnSe. Ithor says, "I tried to I tried a lair rush before word speed to have a Hydra army at his first push. It felt very inefficient as I tried to build a Hydra and upgrades at the same time as I building third base, especially since I had to sacrifice drones for spores as well. Should I delay my third more to not be forced to spend more than one spore defending the Orca, or should I delay upgrade and gas to have the larger drone count initially?" So let's just kind of take a look at how maybe we could have been more efficient in the buildup of our strategy here. Void Ray. So ultimately, you can delay spores as soon as you see a Void Ray first. So that's one way that you can sort of get a bit of an economic advantage. We get a Hydralist in, we get a third base. I'd say that the big issue here is that um, we have a bunch of larvae here, and so if we're gonna make a Hydra den and like this lair this early, this lair is very, very, very early. I would say that like we didn't do this lair reactively. This must have just been the plan. Like, because we have not seen anything that would indicate to us right now that like a 306 lair is like necessarily a good idea. So that's fine, but just noting that this is something that we've chosen to do. So given that we've chosen to do this super fast lair, it's quite likely that yes, we're going to need to delay our third base. Like this is clearly like we're planning on getting the Hydra den right now. So if you're going to do that, like if you're going to get something super early, like a Hydra in a lair, like you're going to have to sacrifice something, and that thing is most likely going to be a third base. As soon as you see, like I said, this Void Ray, we can honestly we could probably skip spores for a while because we know that we're going to have super fast hydrogen. He went Void Ray first. Let's take a look at these numbers because I'm not sure. This is not a strategy that I've done, but like, okay, it's 43 seconds in order for a. So we got another 20, 21 seconds, but it's not exactly that because he just chrono boosted, so it's like half the time. So he's got another like what 12 seconds until this, something like or maybe like 10 seconds until this Void Ray is done. So 403. Finishes at 418. That's crazy. So it's like 15 seconds. Would not have guessed. Okay, so but 15 seconds till that's done. And then now the Oracle takes 37 seconds if he doesn't chrono boost it. So let's assume he does chrono boost it. It'll take what? This will take 27 seconds if he chrono boosts it, something like that. It does 50% faster for 20 seconds. So it does basically that means that it does 20 seconds of work takes 10 seconds. So if it's 37 seconds, you can just cut off 10 seconds. That's the math. So it should be 27 seconds. So we have the 27 seconds. It'll be done. Like our Hydralisk den will be done at that time, and 10 seconds, roughly speaking. Hydralisks are taking 24 seconds. So like this will be done in the Hydralisks. If we like started making Hydralisks as soon as the larva was done, it'd be like half done. I don't think it's reasonable to say that like, okay, if it's Stargate, if it's Oracle second, which it is, and he chrono boosts, like we still need a lot. It's hard to say because like if we cut this third base, we'd actually have a lot more money. Yeah, that's actually probably the point. So I would say, yeah, cut this third base, and like if you see Void Ray first, there's a pretty good chance that I think that we could probably have Hydras out to defend the Oracles, and we could just cut spores altogether. You're gonna want to get spores eventually because you're gonna want to like stop being tied to your mineralize for defense. But like that's a place where you could cut corners, I think, looking at this. But like you have to cut the third to do that. And it kind of makes sense. Like we have no money to spend our larva anyway. Like I think we need to cut the third regardless with this build order. And yeah, we wouldn't have the third yet. So like by the way too, this is not a macro build order that we're doing. Like it could be like a timing attack and you could be planning on macroing behind it, but like you're gonna have to like make something happen on his side of the map for sure. Um, which means, by the way, you always go for like if you have to make something happen with Hydras, then you're going for Hydra speed before you go for Groove Spines. And that's just typically a rule with Hydras that you go speed before Spines. Like there's probably some cases, some very few cases where like Spines first makes sense. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, and they're very finite. Whereas the times that you want speed first is like almost infinite. It's not really true, but you know, hyperbole to make the point. Yeah. So I mean, really, to directly answer the question posed, I would say you should probably cut this third base. That would allow you to cut spores for longer and get Hydras out to defend a potential Oracle. He doesn't even use like if you get your Ling speed, which you probably should still get Ling speed pretty quickly. Then your Lings could help pin the Oracle back even if he makes it, so that would be nice. Let's just take a look at like how we could have fit Ling speed into this. Yeah, we can't afford Ling speed before we do the hydrogen with on one gas. But like I think I would, because like if you look at this here, we're like very close to 100 gas here. So I think I would go Ling speed. Like I would go layer Ling speed, and then like you'd have 80 gas when the layer's done, and you get the hydrogen. So like if you wanted to make up this gas, again, we're cutting this third base. You could get a second gas at some point during the layer build time. Like the layer takes 57 seconds to build. So like the gas only takes 21 seconds. So like we could probably go drones, drones, drones. So yeah, we want all this to be drones. Obviously, well maybe we want, yeah, but we got Oval on the way already. So this should be drones still. You would then, like at this point, you could consider taking a second gas. Might be a little bit weird. I'd take it in the main. So because if he sees the fast layer, the jig's up anyway. So seeing the extra gas wouldn't tell you too much. And then like you could just slowly saturate the gas with like what I would do is like yeah, very early after taking the layer, you can take a gas, have Lings, have drones, you know, replace your mining here, and then the other drones that you make here can start saturating the gas slowly. This would get you slightly more gas and will allow you to like know for a fact you can afford Ling speed, and as soon as the layer's done, afford the hydrogen. And also it's kind of like more efficient, like it feels more efficient because you're taking this gas and like early drones are not having to travel all the way down to the natural. They're instead going over to, you know, just a much closer place to mine. And we have a lot more minerals to play with because we're cutting the base. So we should not feel quite as mineral starved in this variation. I do think that we want to not do a creep tumor. We want to do injects kind of for a while here. Because like we're on two bases. So like we're not going to get like we're not going to get the benefit of a third base for a very long time. And so we're going to need the injects to help make up for the mineral loss, or the larva loss. So yeah, not having played around with it, maybe I'll play around with it on my stream today. It's an interesting build idea. I could do it at least once or twice if I get a Protoss, but I think I would do something like that. Would be my initial gut here. And then with Hydra speed, you should have a good group of Hydras. Like as Hydra speed comes to like a finish, you dropping spore crawlers here and here, and then like pulling your Hydras together and pushing out and trying to deny the third while you're taking your own third. And that would be like the point of the game, or the point of the build, I suppose. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. It's an interesting idea. Certainly, and with the amount that this guy's been scouting, like he wouldn't know that it was coming for a very long time. So definitely a way to punish Protosses that aren't scouting very well. Notice that, like, yeah, okay, we have the first upgrade for the Hydras, but like we still can't even consider attacking because we don't have Hydra speed. So yeah, not so great. Yeah, I think that would be what I would do. So slightly faster second gas, saturate it very slowly and efficiently, get Ling speed immediately so we can have Lings put pressure on. It looks more normal. We can maybe pin the Oracle back. Try to delay spores, like try to get Hydras out, I think, as quickly to completely cut spores until we're ready to actually push out and do an attack and we can make spores to like secure mineral lines while we take our units and go out. That would be my suspicion. I don't know for sure. Obviously, never a build I've tried before, so I don't know. Give it a go. I might give it a go. We can compare notes. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to Ladder Legends, where you too can get your replays analyzed.